Yo.
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 Jonathan Huberto.
Hey boys, welcome back to the Puck and Stuff podcast. I'm here with my boy T-Dog, and welcome back to another Flames talk. Last time we were here, we were very upset. We weren't happy with this team, but hey, we're back. This team finally got off a losing streak, and this episode is sponsored by, well... Oh, that looks very nice. But a man can dream.
A man can dream.
T-Dog, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you, good sir? Oh. Sorry, you were saying?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. This team's finally off a winning streak, and we've won the last two games. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that. And this team looks... We were even talking about this a little bit before. This team still feels weird to me without Kachuk and Gaudreau, because just thinking about how different maybe the season would be with those two instead of what we have now, maybe something would be different.
Is it as weird as wearing a Flames hat with a Vancouver sweater? It's not that weird.
I mean, that's pretty weird.
It is weird.
That is.
But it is weird. I don't know, we were just saying about that, just watching this this game. They're playing the Lightning right now, first period, and I just they get a power play, and I'm not gonna lie, I do miss it a little bit. Miss a little bit of that Johnny Gaudreau zone entry, dipsy dangle, tight turns, the way he stick handles. You know, it's very distinct per se.
For sure.
And I do miss that. This team is definitely missing a scoring forward. That's very true, because I don't know how long you can keep Lucic on the second line.
Oh God. I love Lucic, but he's not a second line forward.
And
boys.
he's not being he's not, I mean, he's getting paid like he is, but he's really not getting paid to do the tasks or assignments that he should be.
Oh yeah,
given.
100%.
Let's just go talk about this that road trip anyways, because I want to say we lost all the games, but we played like we deserved to win some of them. I don't think we played that bad against Boston. I don't think we played that bad against New York, right? But one thing that I see this pattern, this is what I want to get into and kind of have a bigger conversation on. It's a lot of one-goal games.
That is.
Wins and losses.
True. We did blow the lead. We did blow a 3-1 lead against the Islanders that forced it to OT.
4-1 lead? Sorry, it sounds very funny.
Don't even.
How does Toronto always get in somehow Toronto is always referenced in some way, hey?
Yeah, literally, honestly. Yeah, so we started off with New York on this road trip. We fell 4-3 in the overtime. Then we went to New Jersey again and lost 3-2. So yes, it is one of those one goal games. And then we went to Boston. And honestly, it was back and forth with Boston for the most part. But we just kind of collapsed at the end. They got the... I got to admit, David Pastrnak totally just threw everyone for that last goal.
Yeah.
Empty netter.
That Boston team's a wagon this year, man.
Honestly.
It's hard to win in that building anyways, TD Gardens, but yeah. I thought we kept the possession up. I mean, the deserve to win meter said we deserved to win that game.
Yeah. But even you can even see in some interviews after that road trip, Sutter was not like mad at all about the road trip. He saw a lot of progress with the team during that. Even though it was a 7-game losing streak, he did see progress with the team. And then we came back home for those 2 games, and we did take a W against Winnipeg, 3-2, and that was a good game. I saw that very good, especially with how Winnipeg has been playing this season, and that was a good win.
Yeah,
that was a very good win.
It solidified, of course, another one-goal game, but much needed. And it was back at home too, so you got the crowd into it. Crowd, I would say, wasn't as loud at the start, but definitely got more into it as the game progressed. And I think that just kind of that momentum shift very much helped the team. And it was nice to kind of just see Tanev back. I think that was the game Chris Tanev was back, and you can just see the difference.
Oh, 100%.
The defense really is a big problem. And I don't just mean like defensemen. Our injuries are playing a big part, right? I think we're really missing Michael Stone. All in all, I think we're really missing Oliver Shillington, which I hope he's doing all right, and hopefully he can recover and come back soon. But our defensive game is very much struggling. Just back-checking in general. Ugly giveaways. Just like, even we see this period, right? Like, you're just shooting it out to the neutral zone. Or not to the neutral zone, to no man's land.
Yeah.
Like, the defensemen are just picking it up. Like... you should not be doing that. Like, that's one of the first things you're taught in like minor hockey is to not do that. And you're doing it. You're getting paid like millions of dollars to do it, right?
So yeah, you do make a good point with our defensemen recently. Yes, there has been a lot of injury issues, and that's probably good reason for why we went on such a big losing streak of 7 games. And we did have Chris Tanev back against Winnipeg, and that was very nice to see him because he's one of our biggest defensive defensemen on our team. And you do make a good case with it as well, with how Calgary likes to advance the puck too quickly and catch themselves on those like bad breaks. And even in this Tampa game that I've been seeing, there's been a lot of panic in our own zone, which is kind of concerning to me as a fan because like you'd never had that before. Like especially last season, you didn't have that true panic in your own zone. And I've noticed that the last few games with ours. And it's really weird seeing Zadorov kind of carry the team lately, but
I wouldn't say carry, but his physical presence is very much appreciated.
Yeah.
When he's not doing Tyler Myers penalties.
Oh,
right?
God. Yeah, very true.
So,
very true.
But, like, I have liked Zadorov's play recently. He's very much been a, he's what I think what other players need to. This team should be way more physical.
Very.
Than it should.
It's not as physical as it used to.
I get that's like how the league is, right?
Yeah.
You can't. It's a lot of things are going to be called, and the game isn't about physicality. It's more about the skill and the speed, and everyone knows that. But use it to your advantage. You're a bunch. There's a lot of big boys on the team, right?
True.
And I feel like it's only being used at certain times, right? When someone goes after Mark, that's good, right? Goes after your goaltender, goes after someone, right? You use it, but put the body a little more. I mean, that's what like LA was doing.
Very true.
And that's why the game got physical. But I mean, we won that game. I'm just saying, like we seem to win games where there's a lot of physicality.
That is very true. And I even just mentioned with Zadorov. I even mentioned with Zadorov here. He's played 15 games. He has 4 points, and he's a plus-minus of 8. He has 19 penalty minutes, and I believe that is the most on the team. Yes, yeah, he leads the team in penalties. But like, to be honest, last season, the physicality is missing out there for sure because I think Tkachuk, that was the presence that I think we're also really missing with Tkachuk here on this team because he was the guy who started the physicality for us the most, and then players would lead on with it. But I agree. I would really like to see it out of like Blake Coleman and Lucic a little bit more. Even Brett Ritchie is he's a big man for sure. And those kind of players, like even Kadri can throw a body if he needs to. But
yeah,
if I even look at our points, he's actually still leading our points. 15 games played, 14 points with a plus-minus.
I don't understand why he's a -6. I should probably do more research into that.
Yeah.
Him as a -6, I thought he's been playing great.
Yeah.
No problems. I mean, he hasn't scored in a few games per se, but I guess the 16 games played so far, including this game, so that'd be 16.
True.
14 points. You're pretty much a point per game player right now.
100%.
That's what you need. I feel bad for Kadri, like in the sense that I don't think they benefit with Lucic on that second line. But who else are you gonna put him with, right? Like Huberdeau seems to somewhat click with Backlund. So hopefully that keeps working.
True.
Another thing I wanted to get into is just, I think now that we're past a month into the season, we can kind of see what we're missing from this big change that this team went through. And I see it as, the power play for one. You talk about Tkachuk, right? There's not that rat in your face presence, right, anymore.
Yeah, I miss that.
And I feel like that actually can really not change hockey games per se into your favor, but very much benefit you, right? Get in their heads a little bit. Power plays that, and I feel like it feels like we're missing a little bit of speed. I feel like we can play a little faster, but I feel like the team last year seemed to be quicker on their feet. That's just what I've noticed. But again, like, I'm glad I predicted that this team would have a rough start, like they're already having, because I really do feel like things can be all ironed out and figured out. But it's hopefully it'll happen soon.
Well, like when you mentioned the idea of a speed, and when Gaudreau left, he was our biggest part of the speed factor for sure on this team. But one player I really wanted to see jump up to that kind of stature of our speed on this team was Andrew Mangiapane, because he's kind of getting thrown into weird roles on the team recently, what I've noticed with Daryl Sutter. And I love Mangiapane. Nothing against him. He's such a sniper for sure. He's quick on his feet. But he hasn't... I feel like Sutter hasn't found a true place for him yet on the lineup where he can actually find the right chemistry. Because, like, I feel like he's kind of playing like the one-man show at the moment and can't give the true team effort. But I hate even saying that about a player because, like, you know there are some players like that. But... he's kind of showing it a little bit, and I'm getting kind of concerned. But I have faith he will pick it up, and Sutter will find the right kind of teammates for him in this lineup. But overall, one player I'm also really proud of, and he's showing a lot of improvement from last season because you and I were kind of hating on him a little bit, was Tyler Toffoli.
I wasn't hating on him.
Well,
He wasn't
playing.
But he should have been more than what exactly. But I was not hating on him.
I mean, he wasn't playing to the expectation with the picks we dropped for him. That's the better word for it. But Tyler Toffoli, he's played 15 games. He's put up 13 points and a plus-minus of 2. So Tyler Toffoli has improved much, and he's showing more of his role as a first-line winger for sure. And one line that I'm actually very shocked Sutter's sticking with right now is Adam Ruzicka, Elias Lindholm, and Tyler Toffoli. Because that is actually forming very well recently.
Well, that's why I'm not shocked about it because it's worked.
Yeah.
It's been working every game it's been. So like I said, like just you run it until the luck runs out, if it's luck or just it doesn't like seem to work anymore. But hey, it's nice because I feel like we have some options for young guys from the minor leagues to come down or come up for say. Which, you know, everyone wanting Matthew Phillips. I don't know where you guys are at anymore because Ruzicka's doing pretty good, but maybe Phillips gets a role soon. But yeah, it's been working. And let's get some love to like Lindholm too. Like Toff and Lindholm both have the same goals, same assists, same points, 6 goals, 7 assists. And they've looked better as the season's progressed. It's awesome. The first and third line, actually the fourth line too. I gotta say, Richie.
Yeah,
I love Richie and Lewis's play for say. Whoever else is on that like last depends on if it's Rooney. Rooney's been scratched. First and third line have loved so far. That second line, yeah, and that's why you want another winger. The second line seems lost, but that's another thing too. Then that could contribute to a lot of our problems is just not having, of course, that chemistry right now, and just always switching up lines. It's not saying it's a bad thing, but it'd be nice to get to a point where we can solidify our lines, right? That's it, right? Everything just kind of it's in the place. Feels like puzzle pieces are still missing, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Well, I'm even looking at Cap Friendly right now and looking at this team, and you don't truly have the cap room for a player, but you could do a few arrangements. Like for this year, we have our first round pick and our second round pick. And if you see the team actually developing into a playoff contender, like I'm just going to say this as well with the team right now, we're still trying to find, I feel like Sutter's still trying to find the right chemistries for this team that actually like bond and connect well when you're on the ice. And that's why I feel like he's switching them around so much as he's just watching. But I do think that like second key, like another key forward player would be very nice addition for this team because I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting tired of seeing Lucic on the second line. But when maybe a move is made when we come to trade deadline and we're getting closer to playoffs. But
yeah, but like if you really need it, that's all far away.
Yeah,
and are you even in a playoff spot by that time? Right, like that's the problem. We're in a playoff spot right now, and they say, is it at the end of November? If you have a playoff spot, there's something along the lines of like, if you are in a playoff spot by the end of November, you have like a high chance. I have to see the stat. You have a pretty high chance of keeping in the playoffs. So that's a good sign. I'm not saying, of course, it's guaranteed, but that's a good sign. So I'm gonna keep waiting on that. But I agree. Like I want a new forward. I just, you keep wanting more. It's funny coming from us fans, we get that whole shebang in the summertime, but it's definitely something we're missing. I mean, I think anyone can agree with that. I don't see any problem why not, but I mean, speculations of who you want. I mean, I guess we could get into that. I feel like it might be a little early because I still think you're going to try and iron out with the team that we have right now and just let it be.
True.
But yeah, it's definitely something to really think about, especially if we start to notice it come through the coming weeks and months. But I mean, if we're going to go on to the whole forward talk, as one would do with this team, there has been a good amount of talk that the team has been looking into forwards from Montreal. So, yes, I will take Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. I mean, who do you want? You could have Connor Mackey if you want him. I mean,
I'm not as much as I want Sean Monahan back. I do not want him back. Actually, there is one player, and I doubt we'll ever get him. It's Brendan Gallagher. I would love on this team. Brendan Gallagher is such a good player, man. I would love him as a second or a first.
You talk about a Kachuk. He's somewhat like that. He's not much. He's no Marchand in that sense, but he's gritty like that. Gets in your face. But man, that's a leader, man.
That is.
He's very much a locker room guy. I really feel like that could do something. I would actually like that. Although I feel like the price might be a little too high. You know what the problem is? I'm wanting guaranteed scoring, but that's kind of hard to see. And on Montreal, like, let's look at the roster and stuff. I mean, all jokes aside, everyone of course would be killing for like a young Caulfield or a Nick Suzuki. Like, that young kid's line's awesome. Or heck, I'll take Slavkovsky. He'll grow up to be. I think that's what we'll need, right? Just some young, studded superstars to be on this team.
100%. Like I would even if we're talking about wingers here and such, I would even take Mike Hoffman in that sense as well.
I think Hoffman was one that people are thinking.
I wouldn't actually mind that. It is 4.5. You would have to clear up some cap space somehow to be able to guarantee that, but still, depth players like Mike Hoffman would be a great addition to our team in general. But my eyes are more set on a player like Brendan Gallagher because he's a little bit like that Marchand player, a little like you mentioned, gritty, and he is a scorer for sure. That would be a great addition for this team, but it's such a risk for that player because of his cap hit and everything, though.
I've also heard Josh Anderson in that sense as well.
Josh Anderson is not a bad idea.
You really want to be paying another $5.5 million contract till 2026, 2027?
I'd rather just take Brendan Gallagher.
I think you stay away from the Habs roster, in my opinion. There's, to me, like, nothing that's really too much eye candy that I feel like would be not suitable, reasonable.
True.
Rational maybe is the word, but yeah, Gallagher wouldn't be bad, but like I said, I want scoring. Like, Gallagher could score back in the day, but it's lost it a little bit now, as one does when they age. But
true.
You know what? Again, like, maybe I'm asking a little too much, and I'm probably asking too much for a team that might be getting into some cap trouble. It's very true. So
I mean, you're in the right track for sure. Like, if you maybe you're on the right track of saying you should trust the Daryl Sutter process because. We've said it before.
Might as well
again, because last time I believe we said it, we went on a game-winning streak last season.
One thing I love that he's been saying is he's not getting, overly angry about these losses and stuff, but he's talking about the process more than the wins and losses. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's important to keep in mind, too. Like, it very much is a process. And as we can see, this team is very much going through some growing pains and that. And losing your two biggest stars last year, you see the process and its dark spots. I don't know if dark spots is the word, but and just the ups and downs. You see the downs a little more now, right? So I'm just glad that at least someone's committed to the process.
I mean,
I think it's important that the coach is committed to the process. So
of course, it's his job. That's kind of on the line when you don't trust your own process. But honestly, looking at a guy that brought the 2014 LA Kings to a Stanley Cup, and he brought the 2004 Calgary Flames to a Stanley Cup, which the puck was in the net.
Oh yeah,
the puck was 100% in the net. But we don't need to mention any more than that. What I'm really trying to get to here is I'm really going to trust the coach that has brought this team to a really good season last year. Could have probably brought us to the conference finals if we weren't versing Edmonton and the hell there. But you get my point. And I really want to trust this coach because, yes, we did lose some players in the offseason. And it's a rocky start. But knowing this team and how it goes through the season, we have the first rocky start, getting adjusted, and then come middle of the season, end of the season, we come together and it all works out perfectly as we planned. And I believe in our coach and I believe in players. Markstrom is kind of scaring me a little bit, but we'll jump right to goalies with this, and I'm trusting my coach here, and I should also be trusting my goaltender here, Jacob Markstrom and Dan Vladar. I look at Markstrom. He's won 6 games, lost 3. He has a goals against average of 3.06 and a save percentage of .889. It's not great.
I think goals against is very much more of a team stat.
True.
In my opinion. I think people shouldn't be giving as much heck to Markey as he gets. I think he's been playing fine right now in the recent games. Yeah, a few softies over here and there, but I think there's a little too much hate.
Yeah, I honestly...
That's just the life of a goaltender, right? Like, I mean, look at Edmonton with Jack Campbell. I mean, boy, I might have been wrong with Jack Campbell, but, like, my goodness, it's just funny to me. Like, well, they get absolutely crapped on, but you gotta remember, there's a little more. I mean, of course, you can't defend them when they make really bad, like, mistakes and let a really Mike Smith type goal in, but how much is it from your back checking from your players, right? Or taking too many penalties, right? So there's always more variables to it that I think people feel like people just don't want to look at because they just want to have some person to blame.
Well, I kind of look at it, and yeah, that's the difficult part the most about having a goaltender's job is dealing with the criticism if you don't play well. And one big factor with Markstrom here on why he's probably getting criticized as hard as he is right now is you look at his last season, it was the best season of his career. Like 9 shutouts, almost broke Mika Kiprusoff's record in shutouts. Probably one of his best seasons as a Flame or in his entire career. And yeah, he kind of flunked it a little bit for us in the second round, but I'm not going to hate on him on that. That's past is past. But I kind of see why he's getting hated for it, but I don't think it's necessary yet for how early in the season we are. And I'm going to still trust my goalie tandem here because they played so well last year, and I'm thinking rough start, we'll pick it back up. There's still tons of season left. Like T-Dog said over here, we're still in a playoff spot, but I still think we could play way better than we are right now. We're just having those rough patches, so give it some time. That's what I truly think of the team, and that's what I think of our goalie tandem for sure. Trust in the Sutter process. Trust it.
What else can you do?
What else can you do? But you can't play it. But hey guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of Flames Talk. We love doing this for you guys. We're huge Flames fans. I hope you guys enjoy. If you did, like, comment, and please subscribe. We just hit 100 on YouTube. Let's go, boys. Thank you so much. I would love to see us get to 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000 eventually in time. But thank you guys so much for that. And T-Dog, I'll take it away from you.
And like B-Dog said, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you just for all the support in general. This is very much a passion project for us. So the fact that we're seeing that people are here to watch, just even comment, anything that shows a little bit of putting 2 cents in is awesome for us because it shows that that the stuff that we're trying to do is very much being expressed, and that's very much awesome. It's great to just show a love of sport per se and have that expressed to other people, and so we very much appreciate it. And here's to 200, and keep
100.
Well, here's to 200.
Oh,
yeah, here's to 200.
I guess here's to 200.
I believe it. You know what I mean? It'll all work out. But hey, guys, thank you very much for watching. Oh, I guess comment too. Here's a comment. For a comment question of the day. How do you think the Flames are going to do on this road trip? Bad, good? What do you think?
Do you trust the Sutter process?
For sure. But hey, boys, keep on rocking in the free world, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.